Well,
What? Speak.
there's a smaller room, but we don't have a table.
We're already recording. Okay, welcome to the...
Shit.
Okay, welcome to the BoredGamers podcast, Unplugged. We
I
are...
want to reiterate something. This isn't like board games. Board gamers.
Did I say board games?
No, I don't know.
BoredGamers
But it's
podcast.
not that we just play board games,
Can you let me finish the introduction?
but we're bored and we're gamers.
Okay, this is the BoredGamers
With a capital G.
God. Okay, this is the Unplugged episode. This is not an episode proper. This is just a roundtable discussion because we're all together.
You get to say fuck.
I mean, I guess we could say fuck.
There's
Okay.
children that will listen to this.
They have bad parents.
Okay, well, I am one of your co-hosts. I am Chansey. To my right, we have...
Michael Green.
Oh, you don't have to
That
give your last
voice
name.
crack.
I don't give a shit. All right, who else we got?
We got Adam here.
All right,
We have Blake.
and then we have...
Shania Twain,
We have
a.k.a. Camden Olsen, a.k.a. Q Lazarus, a.k.a. Camden
Bitch.
Olsen again.
This is already a train wreck. All right, take it away.
All right, so
So we just played this game called The Grizzled. It's a board game and not a war board game. It's an actual board game put out by, I believe, Sweet Games and Cool Mini or Not. It's done, I'm going to butcher this, the artwork is done by one of the artist that was killed in the Paris attacks.
what a shame.
His name is, I'm going to mispronounce this because I don't know French, Tignous. It's Tignous.
Whatever, just Grizzly
did it-
hashtag fuck ISIS.
Tignay.
Tignay, he did a fantastic job. The artwork's great. The game was actually created by Fabian Riffard and Juan Rodriguez. I know I pronounced one of those names right. But it's The Grizzled. Can friendship be stronger than war? I'm going to tell you right now the answer is no. No. Because this game is hard.
We never won.
There is no friendship in war.
No, and the game itself is not about war. It's about the struggle of the soldiers of World War I. It's basically you're a bunch of World War I soldiers in the trenches trying to survive the harshness of that terrible, terrible conflict. And it's hard. It's brutal. It will play 2 to 5 players. It's for ages 14 and up. I mean, the theme, it's not really violent itself. There's no, like, murder or blood on the cards or anything. The artwork's actually really cool. It's just pictures of, like terrain and then, like, bullets, whistles, and gas masks. I don't know. It's really fun. We just played about 6 games and only won 1 of them.
Yeah, we kind of played with 5 players-ish,
So
for the most part.
we played our first game, and the only one that we won
Was 3.
It was a 3-player, and we won. It was fairly easy. But once we started adding players, it just went downhill from there.
It just gets more difficult as you get...
It does.
Tables.
So basically, there's a deck of cards that you have to work through, and then if you work through them all, it reveals the peace card, which is a dove with an olive branch. It's what I don't know what could like illustrate peace more, but it does. Then there's another one.
Coca-Cola and a big ass.
Yes.
There we go.
In the other card, if this other card gets revealed, it's called the Monument card, which is basically a big gravestone with all the players' names on it. So you know what happens when that comes up. You all lose. There's actually several ways that you can lose.
When we fake our deaths for insurance money.
That being, did they have insurance in World War I? Pig, you're the oldest.
I have no idea.
Okay, well,
We're going to say they did.
we're going to say they didn't have insurance.
I'm going to say they did.
All right. And so that's just one of the ways that you can lose. You can lose if 3 of the same symbol. I'm not going to get into the rules a lot, but basically there's a lot of ways that you can lose, and I think with every single one of them happened to us. You can get a bunch of wounds, a bunch of the same, like, trial is what they're called, can come up. You can, again, the monument card can come up. I think that's it. Those are 3 ways you can lose. I'm not about to pull out the rule book. But it's a very good game. I think it's only, you can get it for like $20. It's in a small box. I received this as a Christmas present. At first I was like, I watched a few reviews of it and still didn't interest me that much. Then I played it with a friend of mine. We did a 2-player game. We had a lot of fun. I played this with my mom and she enjoyed it. And she's an old broad, so.
And she does not know...
She does know nothing.
Board games at all. So what is the entry level for somebody that is inexperienced with these kind of games? I've never played a game like this, but after
Well, it says
2 or 3,
14 and plus, and you're more than twice that,
well,
and you were able to play.
I am. I don't know the rules like like set, but after 2 or 3 rounds, you can start to pick up on it pretty well.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, we sit there, everyone, I was like, hey, we need to talk about this because this game is hard. And they're like, no, let's do another one. And so we would do another one, and we just kept doing more. And finally, our spirits were just completely broken by World War I. Our friendship is not stronger than war.
We ate shit.
So if somebody were to want to pick this up, where can they get it?
So I have not, now, where we're at, we don't have many dedicated gaming stores.
But can you get it at like a Books A Million, Barnes & Noble?
I've not seen this at Books A Million. Barnes & Noble, probably you can get that. I mean, Miniature Market is a good site.
I'm pretty sure we've seen a copy of that at Barnes & Noble whenever we went to Fayetteville.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure.
Can somebody get it on Amazon if they want?
Yeah, no, it's widely available. It's widely available. It's a good price point. If you're just starting a game collection, not like new into board gaming, this is a good buy. It's a lot of value in a little box. We sit here and played it for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure everyone else would want to do it again because it's a fun time. You have to work together. It's punishing, but it makes that victory so much sweeter if you do eventually win.
I think one of the good things is that you can get up to like 5 players, as we said. But
Well, that's pretty common for games now.
Yeah, like you don't need to have as many people. Like
you can actually play it. I believe
minimum of 2 people.
Well, actually, I think you may be able to play it solo. No,
really?
It's 2. No. It's not solo.
I thought it was 2 minimum.
2 to 5. 2 to 5. And it says 30 minutes, but we've played rounds much quicker than that.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a good filler game if you've got like you're playing some big games on your game night. And you need something to kill some time before your next big game. You can bust this out. It doesn't take up much space on the shelf.
Okay, so this game we're gonna put the link in description for it. So if anybody wants to go check this out, you'll be able to.
It will be on our soon-to-be Facebook page, and I believe I'll also put it on Instagram at BoredGamers Podcast. So hit your boys up.
Facebook, YouTube, we'll have those pages coming soon and let you know.
MySpace?
We can create a MySpace.
Zanga.
Ooh.
Shit. What is this archaic social media?
Painting. But no, it's a very good game. I would, out of the thumb rating, I give it 2 thumbs up. I've had a lot of fun. There's not a whole lot of strategic. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of strategy to this. There's some subtle nuances.
The problem is you can't fucking communicate what you have.
Yeah, that's one of the things. One of the cool things. There's several cool things that this game does, but one of them is that you can't communicate the cards that you have in your hand. So you just kind of have to play what you think you can, but you don't. So there's no interacting. Don't get me wrong. It's cooperative, but you can't orchestrate. Like, you can't have, like, an alpha gamer say, hey, I'm going to do this so you can do this and you can do this. Like, what mostly happens when you play Pandemic with an alpha gamer where they just pretty much coordinate everything and everyone just goes along with the motions. Oh, no. The decisions are definitely your own.
What is Pandemic?
Pandemic is another board game.
Pandemic? I played Pandemic. That's one of the few games
It's a good game by Z-Man Games.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game. I can go into more in depth in it. I would like to.
We'll talk about that on a later podcast.
I'd like to play it some more so it's fresh in my mind because it's been a little bit. But it's another good cooperative game again by Z-Man Games. I'm not sure who created. I don't have that off the top of my head. But it's a good game. But no, back to the Grizzled. Another cool rule, and maybe it's just me because I'm the hairiest dude at this table. But there is a rule. The starting player, always and forever, per the rules, the starting token goes to the hairiest player. So, if you have a furry fella in your game group, he's likely going to want to table this all the time because he's always going to go first.
Not that weird furry shit, just a lot of hair.
Not like otaku or,
Otaku!
If that's your thing, I'm not ever going to knock somebody for their thing. It's just not for me. But I'm
going to knock you for having a beard.
Well,
only because I can't grow one.
Well,
yours is pretty weak.
Yeah, your beard game is not strong.
You're pretty weak, Chansey.
Maybe.
Now, what is it? Okay, so I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up as far as games goes. I've played a lot of games. I've got a lot of games. Out of all the games I've had, I've enjoyed this a lot. For the money, you can get it for like $16 on Amazon, or if you want to pay a little bit more and support your favorite local gaming store, then by all means. However, if you're like me and you're on a budget, online, I know a lot of people frown on that because you're not helping small local businesses like I should to stimulate the economy. But I gotta stimulate my own wallet. I need my own money. So I buy my games online mostly or Kickstarter.
So should we set in our rating system of dams for Blake?
I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. I think it's a 2 thumb up game. If I was like a Goro, I'd give it 4 thumbs up. But I'm not.
Blake, out of 10 dams, how many dams would you give it?
I give it about 4 dams.
4 dams.
Really? You didn't like it that much?
Well,
Not even a 50%?
Well, to me, it's 1 through 10. It's 1 through 10.
Yeah, and you're
So-
giving it a 4.
Yeah, which is about.
Yeah, that's like failing. If this was a report card, you'd be giving it an F. This is not an F game, in my opinion.
It's not an F game. It's not.
Then I think you need to recalibrate your rating system, sir.
Well, I think the booze are fine.
I'm a little offended.
Well, you can be offended by one. I am talking. I'm talking as much as possible. I'm trying to talk louder. This
Okay.
is as loud as I go.
You need to settle down, Blake.
I am settled down.
Okay.
It would be about 5.5.
All right, 5.5.
5.5 is acceptable.
5.5.
What did you like about it?
I like the cooperative and the fact that you really could not have, as you described earlier, a main person telling everybody else what to do. The decisions were their own.
Yeah, it shuts down the alpha players. In our group, we definitely have an alpha gamer in our
Yeah,
group.
and-
And so he can't do that, and I love it.
And sometimes, we're not the best in cooperative.
No, we are not.
No, every cooperative game we suck
Can we
at.
talk about fucking Dead of Winter?
No, hang on. That'll be for another show. We'll have a zombie night.
So, if you're new to cooperative games or new to games period, and you have a group of friends that you think would work really well being cooperative,
Then they're not really your friends.
then it would work. It would work for them. Us, not so much. Not in the least at all.
We have a problem where we're a squad of lone wolves is what the problem is.
Too many Indians, not enough chiefs.
That's exactly right. No, too many chiefs.
That's
not enough Indians.
My B.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I liked it, and I like the fact that, on the cards that you get, it's 50-50. You could get something that could help you, or you could get something that royally screws the entire game for everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty punishing. Like when things go bad, they go really bad.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's pretty easy to tell whenever things are going bad because in the certain rules, you can only have a certain amount of land pieces out. So you can, or say you have 2 gas masks, you can't throw down any more gas mask cards. So you can tell yourself whenever things get bad, but there may be some circumstances that may prevent you from helping your team out. So it's pretty interesting all in all.
Or you could get a card that says trauma or phobia. And if everybody else is not paying attention to what cards you lay down,
Okay, we're back. We had Mike. Oh shit! Hold. All right, whatever. I'll figure it out later in editing. All right, we're back on.
Sweetness. So
okay, so where did I leave off? No, kidding. Like I said, the cards can sometimes mess with you, but they can also help you. And then you get the little tiles, the support tiles, where you, if we do it right, you can take away certain bad cards, or you can, flip it.
isn't there a Christmas card or some shit?
Yeah, it's called Merry Christmas.
I don't
What does
like
it
Christmas.
do? I never got it. So
So the thing behind the Christmas card is historically in World War I, it was well documented that on Christmas both sides stopped fighting.
I know that part.
And celebrate. So what this card represents is basically you play this Christmas card comes up and you can get rid of one of the traumas off of you or another player. So it's the only good card. There's only one of them So it's like the only good thing that can happen. And it's Christmas. Christmas rules. If you want to debate me, I'll burn you.
Christmas sucks.
You suck, pig.
Halloween.
Oh, you're one of those hot topic guys. It's Halloween.
Nah.
Shut up.
I hate you.
There's a reason why Jack Skellington wanted to change things.
Yeah, because he was really, really bored.
Well, yeah, and he chose Christmas because Christmas is tight as shit.
I'm sorry, but I fucking hate Nightmare Before Christmas.
I do too, don't worry.
Well, I like not.
I don't like Tim Burton in general, so...
Oh my god, we are a kindred spirit.
Just
sir.
Ed Wood. Ed Wood is the shit.
Michael, you are the diet Chansey.
I am the great value Olsen.
True. You just, well, scratch that. You can't grow a beard.
Not yet.
And Camden needs to get glasses. If this is
He
going to
doesn't
be a
want to be a
trifecta.
nerd.
But he can't see.
We're talking about board games.
We're talking about whatever the fuck ever.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck ever.
Okay,
Whatever.
so
I'm fucking tired.
Hashtag whatever the fuck ever.
I'm fucking tired.
okay, all in all, the Grizzled is a very good game.
Black Lives Matter.
Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Quote to Raymond, nevermore.
That's gonna be a fucking t-shirt.
We'll make it. We'll make it.
Hey, and you know, this is how it could be. A picture of a raven with my head on the raven.
All right.
The phrase underneath it.
Holy Santa Claus shit, guys.
We're giving away ideas for free here.
We will seriously put this on a T-shirt if
I
people
will wear
would
it.
buy it.
I will wear it.
I would wear that every day.
I would let you take a picture of me.
I would
wearing
get that.
it.
I would get that tattooed on my ass cheek. Maybe not that far, but
Oh man.
that'd be great.
Okay, so Grizzled is a good game.
Grizzled is.
We all
good.
enjoy this. I don't
It's
do.
a great starter game.
I don't do the board games. I enjoyed Grizzled. So what else do we got going on this evening? We got some drinks going on.
Yeah, we've got some good drinks.
We got some drinks. What are we drinking here tonight?
Well, hang on. We still got to have a few other guys weigh in on this that played this. Adam, loose. Mr. Adam.
Yes,
King
my good
Adam.
sir.
What'd you think of the Grizzle?
I think the Grizzle was a great game to play. I would say it would probably be best for like 3 players to play and maybe other people to watch
Because
it.
that's the only way we won.
That's true, but I think it's just a good way for like a group of people to maybe see other people play it first to kind of get the hang of it, because we did have to kind of teach, because I was new to this as well. I've never played this game before. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, some of the traumas in the game sucked.
Yeah, there's one where you can't talk the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I mostly got that
You
one.
already can't coordinate, but it eliminates talking altogether.
Yes, because there's one of the tokens where if you win a mission, which each round is called a mission, if you win the mission, you get the speaker token, and what the speaker token does is you can announce a certain type of a card, and anybody that has that card can automatically discard it, where they don't have to use it. And that fell on me on the last game where I couldn't speak, so I couldn't use the speaker token because I had the mute card.
Yeah, but see, those speech tokens are kind of a gamble, because what they allow you to do is they allow all of your teammates to discard a card. However, you can't communicate. You don't know what they have.
That is true.
And so we've done it once to where I announced the card, and it was bust. No one had it. And so it was a
one
waste.
person did.
And those things, once you use them, they go away. And I think in a 5-player game, you only have 5.
Yeah, you only have 5, so
and you get rid of them. And so it's a gamble.
it's one of these games where you're on a time crunch pretty much.
I mean, it's a punishing game. If you enjoy a game that knocks you around, say kind of like Ghost Stories or how Arkham Horror can, then this game, which you guys haven't sat through and played Ghost Stories. However, we've all played Arkham Horror enough to know how brutal board games can be.
Just go to the woods, honestly. But another thing about those cards is that sometimes they'll have a trap on them.
Yeah, what the trap does, basically, you play a card and they'll have the trap symbol. And this isn't, like a trap queen that's going to make pies and stuff. This is going to make you draw another card and potentially screw you and make you lose.
Did you really just fetty whap?
Yes.
Petty whap.
We have to appeal to a wide audience.
I am that audience.
Well,
I have no idea what you just said.
All in all, I would give this 5 thumbs up.
ooh, 5 thumbs.
5 out of 5 for me.
5
How many thumbs do you
thumbs.
have?
I don't know. Let's see.
Maybe he's just all thumbs.
Well, yeah.
Was it recording?
No.
That was such a burn.
We just need to record everything.
Let me get you some ointment.
Oh, Christ Jesus. All right, so back to the discussion.
Go ahead, Blake. Sorry, guys, we're not recording. Blake got a pretty good point here, and he's speechless. Come on,
My
Blake.
ass was very chapped, and my hair on my ass got burnt really good. Way to go, Chansey. Way to go.
We all still love you, Blake.
And Cannon is broken.
Hold on, John Cena over there. I can't even see you.
But Michael was asking, and Cannon was asking, my rating for dams. It was 5 big dams.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 big dams.
Just for comparison, like, a remote control for comparison if you, sending those kind of pictures. Oh. You not hear me?
Blake. God, this is a catastrophe.
You're a catastrophe.
Well, it's okay because this is not going to be released to the public.
I mean, this is why this is called Unplugged.
Unplugged. So,
Just like your
Michael,
mother. What?
your final thoughts. So we got 5 out of 5 from Mr. Adam. We got 5 out of 10 from old Bolts over here. He's kind of being a little sourpuss. He just got burned though, so it's okay. I'm giving it 2 out of 2. I liked it a lot. It's a good game. I would play it if anyone ever asked. If you want to come down to where we're at and you're like, hey, Camden, I want to play the Grizzle with you, I'd pull up a chair. Sorry.
All right, so my final thoughts on Grizzled, the board game. I truly enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. A lot of games will, well, not really a lot, but some of them, if you don't have like a wide attention span, will keep you kind of bored. Because I know that a friend of ours
But we're the board gamers.
I know.
I'm pretty bored with this conversation.
I have a friend who doesn't like Arkham Horror because he's quite bored by it. So
I can see that, though. There is a lot of downtime per player turn.
Exactly.
Which, with this, there's not. And that's one of the other good things. I should point this out. There's not a lot of downtime. This game plays fast, it's furious, it's punishing, but there's not a lot of downtime when you're waiting. And whenever you're watching people, you're in it. You're not just just spacing, waiting for your turn to come up. You're very much invested in what everyone else is doing.
because it affects
It could
everything you
easily
do.
screw you up because you're like, okay, no gas mask. I got a handful of gas masks, no gas mask. And then you see the jabroni to your right play down a gas mask, and you're like, Blake, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't care. And it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's good. It's a good game. I can't stress that enough.
Out of a 10, I'll give it about an 8. Like I don't have any problems with it, truly. So
Fair rating. Pig, final say. So being someone who does not game at all, someone who zero gaming, he's came to like 1 or 2 game nights because he's got better things to do, I guess.
why are you here?
Because I bought beer that he wanted.
I have the weekend. Yeah, beer, and I have the weekend off. So
No, but what would you honestly? Because you were one of the ones when I was like, okay, let's talk about this. You're like, no, I want to play it again.
yeah,
So what do you think?
you got my dick hard.
Okay, but I mean, it doesn't take a lot. I mean,
That's true. We have a bowl of Jolly Ranchers over here, and that got me pretty moist too. No, I like
you
it.
have.
Are you moist or hard? What are you?
You
Dude.
can't be both unless.
I am
hermaphrodite.
all like from fucking like fucking Two-lander.
No, I liked it. I still don't understand the rules completely, but I want to continue. Like, when we're done with this, I'll play another round.
It was a lot of fun.
I will say, general, just for any like gaming.
I wouldn't mind playing. What was it, Pandemic again? That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't own that one. Another member of our organization has that, and he was supposed to come this evening, but I guess he had other things to do. But I mean, just as a general rule of thumb,
You throwing shade?
yeah, I could be throwing hands too.
1738.
17 dirty plates. But No, just general. If you have at least one player who knows the game really well, that's always like trying to learn. Because we've tried to do this before with a game off a Kickstarter called Zyaware. Nobody knew the rules. The game is an amazing looking production, but nobody knew the rules, and we tried to play it.
Didn't we also try that with War of the Ring, and it just like totally backfired?
Well, your brother wouldn't let me learn the rules. He wouldn't get the rule book.
So let me do an aside here. So somebody like me who doesn't know, I forgot.
Who doesn't really like game frequently?
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to ask.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
for someone who doesn't really game frequently, and if you're looking to maybe pick something up, or maybe if your friends are into it, then it might be a lot of fun for you. Don't pour beer on my phone, you goddamn savage.
There's a speck on the table here. I was trying to get it off
No,
with the.
I don't think
with the
this
glass.
is a. I don't think this is a beginner's game because the rules are pretty heavy.
Oh, okay. I remember my question. So, if you've never played one of these games before, like, how long does it typically take, like, new, fresh out of the box, like, learning the rules, like, to completion, like, to be able to lead the game for other people that don't know how to play it?
So this is how literally this is what had happened. Eli was over at my house.
Your friend Eli?
My friend Eli, you may hear him speak some whenever he gets off work. He's another one of our gamers. I referenced an alpha gamer. Well, that's this jabroni. Anyhow, he comes over to my house. We like to play video games together. And we decided, we were looking at my shelf, seeing what games we haven't gotten played yet, and this was one of them. So we thought we'd give it a try. We both spent about 15 minutes looking through the rules. Some things we weren't quite clear on exactly how the flow of the game. There's a lot. I'm not going to, because I don't know the exact name of the channel off the top of my head, but there's several good basically watch it played tutorial sites on YouTube for board gamers, and it's a great thing. Like if you buy a game and you really want to get it tabled quick, these videos will show you how to do it. And I plan myself on doing some of these, doing some video reviews, some unboxings, and showing how games are played. Excuse me, I'm dying. But no, what we did, we spent about 15 minutes reading the rules, watched this, it was probably a 15-minute video, so about 30 minutes altogether, and we slowly played through a round. Once we got through one game round, we pretty much had it, and we were able to play several rounds. Again, it's a fast-playing game, especially if you play with two people. So, I mean, now there's other games, don't get me wrong. That's not the same with every game. There's a game that we like that takes about, per player, you have about an hour and a half per player. And so it can play 8 to 9 hours before. And we've played it, like half a dozen times, Twilight Imperium.
Oh, yeah, that was about...
And we still don't know every rule. There's 3 rule books for this dude.
Yeah,
And it's a
I would
great
say
game.
about 4 or 5 times we played that.
I will do I could talk for hours on this game. I could
We'll
do
have to do a separate
a
podcast.
whole show for it. But I mean, this game is not for beginners. And the Grizzle, I think if you're into board gaming but you're just starting off, it's a good thing. But if you have not played any like what they call the designer board games or whatnot, outside of Monopoly or like Phase 10 or Uno, I don't know that you need to rush into this game unless you have a friend who's
I would say it's about an intermediate level.
It is just because the difficulty of the game itself. It's not hard to learn, but it's not the easiest to get into. It's not like Sheriff of Nottingham or I think Pandemic's a little more complicated than this. But this game itself, once you know the rules, it's easy. It's easy and fast, but it's not that great for beginners. If you haven't ever played it before, or you don't have anyone who's familiar with it.
These are not the type of games that you like Uno. Like you play through around like 2-3 minutes. Like these are something that you've got to like dedicate half an hour to set and play.
Yeah, these are about
to
10
get
to
the full
15-minute
experience.
games, so...
Another good part about this game, where some games you have, like a 30-minute setup. I think sometimes it takes us like an hour to get Twilight Imperium set up.
Twilight Imperium takes about an hour to even just set up.
Oh my god.
This takes like a few minutes. You shuffle a deck of cards, deal out 25 cards,
Pick character cards.
hand out the support tiles, and then you're rolling. So you can, out of the box, have it set up 5 minutes, I would say, and get playing. So if you've got 30 minutes to kill, I cannot think of a better way to kill 30 minutes.
It's a lot
Well, I
of fun.
mean, we've been recording for 30 minutes, so
Already?
yeah.
God damn, time flies by when you're having fun.
Okay, so the last time that I was over for board game night, we played Pandemic. I liked Pandemic. What was the other game that we played after that took forever. I had no idea what I was doing, but I somehow won the game for everybody.
So that was Eldritch Horror. That was not the sequel to Arkham Horror, but it's
an add-on.
It's not an add-on. It's not an expansion. It's a separate game. It's basically, if you're familiar with Arkham Horror, it's a cooperative survival Lovecraftian game that you basically takes place in the city of Arkham. So this is an expanded view. Basically, the camera pans out, and this is the same game. Some of the rules are tweaked. It plays a little different. I mean, if you're familiar with one game, you can play the other. The rules aren't exactly the same, but they're similar enough to where if you know one, you'll know both. But it's on a global scale, so you're like taking trains and planes and going to different countries and things.
Chancey seems to be suffering from the booze.
It gets worse the longer it sets out. The warmer it gets, the bitterness just sticks to your throat. And
What is it called?
arrogant bastard.
And what are you?
I'm not an arrogant
A semi-bastard. Jancy is a
Yeah, you haven't got
semi-bastard.
patched over yet. Actually, oh no, I'm good.
So, aside from... you got, what do you got, Blake?
Well, I was going to add a little thing about the difference between Eldritch Horror and Arkham Horror.
Arkham Horror.
Arkham Horror,
What kind of game is that classified as?
which
I mean, it's a board game.
it's a board game, yes, but it is also
I mean, it is not in the same league as something like Monopoly or Risk
it's
or
not
what have you.
It's got little plastic miniatures in it,
No, it
but it's
doesn't.
not
No, it
really a. Well, Arkham Horror does.
No, it doesn't.
No.
The little plastic ones.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's
Or not
cardboard.
cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't, not
All right,
plastic.
if we're talking about Arkham Horror, then we might as well just go into it.
But
I know nothing about this.
for
If you played Eldritch Horror, you know.
what the difference, in my opinion, between Arkham Horror and, well, I'll let Cameron explain to you what they are here in a minute. The difference to me, and the reason I like Arkham Horror way better than Eldritch Horror is Arkham Horror, the fear and the creeping danger is always constant. You're always trying to...
Okay, before we get into comparisons, sorry to interrupt, before we get into comparisons about the two games, Arkham Horror is the first, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what is Arkham Horror? What is the point of the game?
I'll let Cameron speak about that one.
What's the premise of the game? What is the main objective of the game?
So, the main objective of Arkham Horror is for you and your adventuring group. Well, you're not really an adventuring group. Basically, you're dealt out role cards. You play characters in the Call of Cthulhu universe by Fantasy Flight. They have a living card game, and they use the same characters. They have Elder Sign, which is a dice-based version of Arkham Horror. They've got several games that all kind of take place in their created universe based on Lovecraftian themes. Now, what this game is you get these roles, you get these players. There's like a nun, there's like a psychologist.
There's a hobo, a detective, a mobster even, I think.
There is an Indiana Jones character whose name is Pepper Jack. The hobo is Ashcan Pete, and he has a puppy dog you start with. But basically, you get these characters. They give you some backstory why you're in Arkham. And what you're doing is you're looking for clues, trying to solve mysteries and things to basically prevent the selected great old one from awakening. And if you're not familiar with any of the Lovecraftian themes, the great old ones are these big, terrible, ancient gods that existed.
But do you need to know who or what Cthulhu is to play this game?
You do not. However, if you're interested in it,
I think it would make it a little bit more interesting for you.
because you can get into it, it almost provides a role-playing experience. But there's enough fluff and story that's just in the game itself when you're reading the different cards, doing the events, that it almost tells a story. Now, Eldritch Horror tells a little bit more of a story, but Arkham Horror is definitely the fluff, all of the elements, the theme of Lovecraft is so heavily embedded in it. You cannot not pull away something about Lovecraft or the Cthulhu mythos from playing this game. There's just not a way to. Something is going to stick. You're going to pull away something from it. It's a great game. It plays now. Why this game I think hits the table so much for our group. Not only several of us really liking Lovecraft, but it it plays up to 8 players, which we normally have a pretty big gaming group, and there's not a lot of games now. There's more now than there have been. Normally 4 to 5 is the common group, which that kind of sucks for us because that leaves some of our guys, sitting out, and no one wants to do that. This will accommodate 8 players, which is great. Now it takes a little bit longer. We've played games that last 5 hours before easily.
Yeah, about 4 to 5, I would believe.
The box itself, again, much like the Grizzle, it's rated for 14 up. Plays 1 to 8. Now this plays 1 to 8 without any expansions. I know with like Twilight Imperium, you got to buy an expansion to get those 2 extra players. This in the box.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Now there
are expansions if you want them, but if you just wanted to play just that without having to buy anything else, you can just play that straight out of the box. Nothing else. And we've played this like 20 times.
Yeah, we've played this a lot.
And we still come across cards and events and encounters that we hadn't seen before. And we've also lost way more than we've won. This is another one of those games.
It all depends on the old god that you fight as well.
The old god, there's basically, I believe the game comes with 8 different elder gods or whatever it is, these big, terrible monsters that you're trying not to have awaken. You're trying to find clues and close these portals to other dimensions before these gods wake up and wreak havoc. It's a lot easier to win if you can just shut the gates and keep the monsters out of Arkham than it is to win by defeating the god, because when that dude wakes up, you immediately drop everything you're doing and you have to fight him, and they're normally way, way, way more powerful. But I mean, this is definitely not a starter game. I think what most people transition to this from is if you're familiar with, I believe it's the Haunted Hill game. Betrayal at House on the Hill. That game has been out 20, 30 years. This is kind of the spiritual successor to that. There's another game that takes place in this Call of Cthulhu universe called Mansions of Madness, which is, I think, a cooler version of Betrayal of House on the Hill. But if you played that game, this game will be a natural. You won't know the rules, but it feels the same. This was one of the first board games that I bought, and I love it. It's expand. I do not own any of the expansions, but there are expansions to where it adds 3 different playing boards that you can go through. So I can't even fathom doing that. There's so much content or ways that you can change up this game. Your money is well spent. You're going to get a lot of value, a lot of play time out of. I believe I paid like $50 for it. I'm not sure how much you can get a copy of it. I occasionally see this at like Hastings, but I think your best bet is to go online.
I mean, and that's not really a bad price considering the cost of like the boutique Monopoly boards that are.
I mean, then again, think about it. $50 and you're getting all this content. As we said before, we're still seeing shit that we haven't before, and we played this game like
20 times easily.
20 times easily.
So and it's like roughly 4 to 5 hours. So that's like 100 hours of solid entertainment for $50. That's hard to beat.
You really can't go wrong with this game. It's really damn good. If I were Blake, I would give it the big D.
I actually agree with that. I give it the big D because of one reason. One reason only. It is so complex, and both Michael and Kenyon are right. Every time you play it, it's completely different. No matter if you get the same characters or you get the same Elder God, the story changes every time. And one of the Elder Gods, if he awakens, you're dead. You're automatically dead. Game over. And so you're constantly trying to keep him asleep by closing gates and everything. And also, some of the things you get to get from the cards and stuff are weapons and magic spells and books and what, Adam?
What?
I believe it's old relics and stuff.
Yeah, old relics, and there's one card called Elder Sign.
The Elder Sign is a big key in the game because that is actually how you prevent portals from opening.
Well, that's how you close them without having to spend clue tokens or whatever.
Yeah, after you do that, it's closed and it cannot open there again.
Yeah, and one thing that always usually kicks us in the butt is the gate in the woods. Because as soon as we have learned, as soon as the gate opens in the woods, everyone converges on the woods. Now it might be different for different
You converge
groups,
on the wood, Blake.
but for us, woods always opens, and we're always in trouble.
Yeah, one thing that I really like about this game is that a lot of people aren't sure how like a game can be maniacal or how you can play against a game like an artificial intelligence. But the designers at Fantasy Flight, I believe this one was done by Richard
Lanius?
Yeah, Lanius and
Kevin
Kevin Wilson. Kevin Wilson is helping make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles board game that was just on Kickstarter that I'm pretty excited about. Should be out in July. I should be getting my copy.
We will be playing that day one.
On your birthday.
We'll be doing definitely a Turtles themed show for sure. But no, this is an excellent game. I'm not certain if it's in print or not still. Fantasy Flight's good about when things are out of print and they get them back. I've never not been able to get a game I wanted from Fantasy Flight. The only thing that I've had trouble with is waiting. I get really anxious. I'm watching. They'll keep track of like what's on a ship, what's at a printer, and it bothers me. I want that. When there's a game coming out, I want it, and it's just a tease. But they're a great company. They do great work. As far as the quality goes, Fantasy Flight quality. If you've ever played a Fantasy Flight game, you know that their quality's top notch. Most of this is mostly cardboard, like tokens. There's no real plastic pieces. Your characters are done by a cardboard figure on a little plastic stand. As far as the only dice that you use, you use a D6 for everything. The game mechanics of itself are simple. It's easy. This game is easy to teach. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of rules to it. But if you have somebody who does know the rules themselves, they can teach the game very easily. I taught all of you guys. We were able to play.
I think within the first 2 or 3 games, I think.
Well, the first game, I think you guys had it.
Yeah. Well, some of us it took a little slower because
But the game does take a long time. If you don't have a night planned, dedicated for a game, this may not be for you. But if you like fun, or if you like the cooperative games, if you like games that aren't easy, if you like Lovecraft, anything like that, this game is definitely worth it.
And another thing that I like about this game is that there's different ways to play it. Like you can either go team based or you can go like a team base and have solo players as well, because sometimes those solo players are the big key in beating this game.
Adam, this is also how we lose a lot.
That is true.
The whole too many Chiefs, not enough Indians thing.
But if you got a team of, let's say, if there's 8 of us, 5, and there's 3 solo players, the team can go around closing gates while the 3 solo players are around taking out the monsters that are loose in the city. So, it just depends on how you want to play the game. If you want to do team-based, that is the way to go. If you want to do a split where it's a half team, half solo squad, I guess you could say, or you can just do all solo.
But it also very much depends on the characters that you get, because
yes, the characters are key on what characters you play or how you're going to play.
They all have different stats. They all have different abilities. They all can do different things. They start off at different points on the map. So who you get, and you do it at random, who you get is going to drastically affect how you play. Every character can do, because there's a mechanism in it that allows you to adjust your statistics. So if you know you're about to do some brawling, you can put more of your stats into fighting, but that's also going to make one of your other stats go down, which I think is a very, very good mechanic. I like that a lot. They do not have that in Eldritch Horror. If you remember, I think we've only tabled that a couple of times. They don't have that, which I didn't like.
I think that's the reason why we haven't really played
Most
that.
people fawn over Eldritch Horror and think it's a better game because it's simplified and whatnot. After owning and playing both, I'm still all aboard Team Arkham Horror.
Yeah, I like Arkham Horror just because of the complexity, the challenge of it. I do like a good challenge in a board game.
It is. I don't want something that I can go into it knowing that, hey, I'm going to beat this thing.
If I do 2 or 3 steps, that I know I'm going to win.
If I have any amount of conjugal capabilities, not conjugal,
like prison conjugals,
not that.
Prison sex.
What is the word I'm looking for? If you have a brain in your head, there are some games that you can conquer. This is not one of them. Conjugative? Is that it? Cognitive. Thank you, cognitive.
Conjugals.
Yeah, conjugals. That's
Who are you seeing in prison?
That's prison sex. That's not
Conjugals.
prison sex will not help you win this game. It could if, like, I was in prison and it was sex with me. I know how to beat this game. But other than that, no.
I see you putting razor blades in your butt.
Whatever. No, it's a great game. It is a good game. I would recommend it. And again, this is not one of those games where, I'm just getting into games. No, it's there's quite the learning curve, but it is worth it. It is worth learning. It's worth the money. This is always going to be in my collection. Nothing is going to boot this.
So, Camden, what you're saying is this is one of like your top board games that you would play with a group of friends.
Anytime this wants to get tabled, I am always for it. I gave away Eldritch Horror. Actually, I traded it for some Heroscape Terrain, which totally worth it. Because this game, I enjoy this one way more.
Yeah, I think this is one of like our top fives that that if we had to pick a game to play, this would be one of them.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, the big difference for me is, like I said, in Arkham Horror, the fear and the constant dread is always there because it's compact in Arkham City all by itself. In Eldritch Horror, you have, like Kenan said, you have a wide variety of global things you can do. So you're kind of like, oh, well, I can go here, I can go there. Although, the danger's there, but I'm not really threatened by it because I can get away from it by going somewhere completely on the opposite end of the board. Arkham, you can never get away from it, ever. It's always there. It's always after you. And if you don't take care of it sooner or later, it will end your game.
How it will end your game basically is by sanity. All right, you have health and sanity, and there are two different ways that this functions. Obviously, health you can get into combat with these creatures, and as well you get multiple different cards that will either boost your shit or whatever. Now, if you use spells, you will lose part of your sanity. If you lose your sanity, you got to go to Arkham Asylum. Give me your best Batman voice, Blake.
I can't do Batman.
Never mind.
Not even a Christian Bale.
Not even Christian Bale.
Where's the drugs?
Where's there to me?
Where is it?
My cancer.
Swear to me!
That is the.
Tell me.
That's Bull Man.
That is a friend of ours named Bull. Bull voice that Kevin does really well. But yeah, that.
Suck his dick a little more.
No.
But if you die, you die. Shit happens.
If you lose, if both your sanity and your health go to zero at the same time, you lose and you have to get a new character. But like Michael said just now, if
it's called being devoured.
Yeah, as Camden just said,
a little bit more intense than dying.
Yeah, if you lose sanity, you can go to Arkham Asylum and get your sanity back, or you can go to the hospital if you're lost all your health. And it depends if you want to get all of it back or just maybe 1 or 2 points in each back.
So, finalizing our thoughts upon the game. Arkham Horror. Pretty damn good. I enjoy it. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. This is for more experienced players. Do not think you can just jump into this. Read the rules all the time. Dedicate a night. Get your friends together. Do some investigating.
You have to read them and you have to memorize them. Write them down if you have to. And as I said earlier, or they're in the book. But if you don't want to keep opening the book over and over again. But as I said, I give it the big D, and it will always be one of my top 5 board games to play.
I agree. I would give it a 10 out of 10 for me as well on this. But yes, I agree with Mr. Mike that it is for more experienced players. If you are a new player and want to play this, I would say get around people that
Come play with us.
That as well. But I would say if you know somebody or know a group of people that have played this, I would join them and then learn from playing with them because they do know the rules a lot better. And from my perspective, because that's how I play, I like to play with people who are more experienced. I'm more of a visual than somebody telling me. So if you're one of those people that are more visual, then somebody telling you how to play, then I would say get a group of people that have played this before and do it that way. But yeah, I would give this a 10 out of 10, and this is probably one of the top 5 for me.
All right, I'm looking at this not as my own one of my personal favorites. I'm just going to give it as a general rating. If you're, hang on, give me that. One of my possessions was being defiled by my older brother. No, anyhow,
He was rubbing his phone upon his crotch.
yeah, that's not cool. But no, I'm gonna take the emotions, my own emotions, away from this.
You don't have emotions.
Yeah,
You're a demon.
I might be, but I'm gonna give this game an 8. Camden thinks this game is perfect. However, looking at it objectively from a gamer's point of view, there is a little bit of a setup time. It does take a little bit to get going. It's a lengthy game. You're not going to get this played all the time. If you don't have a game night and everyone's willing to invest their whole game night into one game, this may not get played.
I mean, whenever you get more experience at it, because we play other games after we play Arkham Horror, I'm pretty sure.
This is what we start off with something like King of Tokyo,
Yeah.
and then we finish the night with this because we know it's going to take the rest of the night. This game does take a long time. The game is great fun. There's a lot of rules. The rule book is not laid out the best. You have to flip through it, refer to things. Some things aren't clearly explained. However, all of this being said, it's still a wonderful game. The production quality is great, Fantasy Flight standard. Like if I had to say something negative, like I said, the setup time, the rules, the time length, and for some reason my box have just gotten beat up. It's the normal square size Fantasy Flight box, but man, this thing has just been to hell and back. I'm gonna have to tape the edges or something. Now, that's really not a knock against the game, just kind of an aesthetic thing. My Twilight Imperium box is the same way, but the game itself, it's a great game. The game, once you learn the game, you will be engrossed in it. It is just as much of a storytelling, cooperative, strategic. It's an experience. It's an experience in a Lovecraft setting in a box. And you would be a fool not to at least give it a try. And now, if it's not your thing, then it's not your thing. But you're doing yourself a disservice if you just don't play it once. I mean, just give it one play. That's all I ask, because there will be some sort of fun to be had.
Then again, the whole mystery horror thing might not be up a lot of people's alley.
The theme might be off-putting, but if you want something that plays a lot of people, if you want something that's cooperative where you're not going up against each other, because if you have a group like us, we get super competitive and the salt flows.
Monopoly.
It gets bad. And Monopoly is a trash game, and I will never recommend it to any of you. There's better things out there. But, yes, if you want to hate each other,
If you want to go up against each other, I would recommend Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, that's a good worker placement, but that's for another night. All in all, Arkham Horror, great game. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up, 8 out of 10, just due to the complexity of it, but it's good stuff. Go buy it.